Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode 73. This reviewing the 173rd episode of the anime, The Secret Behind the Underground Room. Yeah, this has a very shocking edit to it I did not expect to see in this series. Again, not since the tuning exam arc. We should discuss that. Okay, the episode starts off basically with the feudal lord of the Land of Waves coming to visit Victor. Yep, to basically do an inspection. Because the Hidden Leaf basically been complaining that he's using the Hiroshima cell, and his bodyguards are acting very suspiciously. Who they are is not revealed until the end of the episode. And meanwhile, though, Boruto and Sada have arrived at the entrance Land of Waves, says, "Do you have entry pass?" And Sada's like, "Yeah, it was submitted." And he's like, "Okay, good, go on in." He must look at a computer because he's not shown using one, but yeah, it's implied he must have looked up, but yep, there's an entry pass. So they go and visit the widow of the man they were sent to basically search for, and they talk for a while. Of course, they basically she got a cloth from Victor's company, and then Boruto reveals basically the reason when they came to return her late husband's wedding ring, which that was a nice gesture for him to do. And meanwhile, though, Victor going through like this, let's show this inspection of this essential facility. So they walk by for a while, and he gets like a door, like, He tells this beautiful assistant, yeah, she's a very beautiful woman. She looks like she has a very similar appearance to Chocho's mom. Yeah, very similar appearance to her. I mean, so next thing like, do some air, and then do some light. And then they arrive at the central lab. Like, oh, some good experiments, basically about the aging. It's like, okay, I'll fully support you. And then, well, luckily enough that one of the bodyguards like, no way, Jose, this is not what's really here. And then release. And it's revealed the bodyguards are actually Konohamaru and Motro. Yep. And it's revealed, though, that this actually is not the facility that he's seeing. It's something else. It's a human experiments. Which then, of course, basically, Motro chops off Victor's arm, which starts acting really weird. It's like, oh, stop the bleeding, and then we see that the arm is crawling. Like, what the heck is this? He hits a button, and then the thing starts to activate. It opens this thing up, and it turns into the Divine Tree. Yep, and then, of course, his arm acts like, look like it has threads attached to it, and of course, his arm reattaches. I'm like, Did the creators of the series have Victor borrow his ability from Hidan's partner, Kakazu? Yeah, he had a very similar ability. The thing is, he used string to reattach his arm, not his freaking veins, but it's a very similar ability. And then, of course, well, we know this is basically something similar to the Divine Tree, not the actual one. I highly doubt it. This is probably something similar to that. So it leads to these strange little bands which starts draining chakra, and then basically the scientist who was seen back in Mitsuki's experience arc, he gets sort of wrapped up in this stuff. And then of course we see like in meeting room, like all Victor's employees basically are here. And then of course the place starts shaking. And of course meanwhile though, Boruto and Sada basically because they should probably help out, and Boruto basically was part of all this. He says that he's not going to be. He's actually matured since his battle with Dappa, where he pretty much is like he's not going to be like going in headstrong, like going in basically butting when he shouldn't have. He's acting very cautious, but in the case of this, he has to butt in because there's something really bad happening, especially with the whole ground shaking, and the freaking Divine Tree is coming back. Oh yeah, and Dappa is going to appear in next week's episode, which, kudos, great the fact bring this character back. All in all, fantastic episode, and who would have thought that they brought back the Divine Tree? Wow, like, oh my gosh. And of course, Victor using Kakazu's ability to reattach his arm, using his veins and using string. Kudos, that was a really neat idea. Though I'm glad the fact they didn't kill him off here, because in the manga he's currently, since this portion of this stuff is supposed to take place between the Meiji Bandits and the Owl arc, so my guess is that the Raiders probably knew that they could probably harm Victor. They can't have him die just yet. He dies later on, so good to keep him alive here. So it looks like that his assistant and Victor and his assistant basically go off in a elevator where to get away from the vine chip. But basically a close look at it, and things starts blossoming. Oh, it's like blossoming really good. All in all, fantastic episode. Looking forward to next week's. Okay, so yeah, that's it for Sigla Review. Now, normally, if in fact if I had done this a few days ago, I would have been caught up this point with thanks to reviewing this one. But there's still one more basically before I get to news that came out today. Before I get to a sluggish who wants to hang out and is a wrong Dream Girls Dungeon. So the next anime video I'm going to do is Black Clover. I'm working on that next and be up soon. Okay, next video. Bye.